net.
Good evening, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KD8VYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Newsline report number 2485 with the release date of Friday, June 13th, 2025 to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. Hams in Iran give an on-air history lesson to DX stations. In Indiana, MCOM Group goes digital, and a 6-meter activity conjures some special magic. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2485 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's first independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Wadsworth, Ohio, Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
A small group of amateurs living in different cities throughout Iran joined together over the airwaves recently to give the world its first ham radio history and cultural lesson about the Persian Gulf. John Williams, VK4JJW, brings us that report.
It was a proud moment for 11 ham radio operators in Iran who got on the air on June 7th, calling CQ on SSB as Special Event Station EP2PG. Using modest home-based equipment with 100 watts of power or less, the operators faced less than ideal conditions on the HF bands during their 16-hour operation. Still, it was a proud moment as the hams of Echo Papa 2 Persian Gulf celebrated the historical and cultural significance of the Persian Gulf itself and shared it with the world. One of the operators, Morteza, EP5APP, told Newsline that the team's focus was on making as many DX contacts as possible in the interest of friendship and unity, and of course to share the story of the Gulf, which is one of the world's oldest maritime regions. The team achieved that goal, logging more than 360 QSOs from 60 DX countries across Europe, Asia, Oceania, and the Americas. Morteza told Newsline, quote, "This activity was entirely self-funded and carried out by volunteers with a shared passion for radio and a strong desire to make the voice of Iran heard in a positive, non-political, and welcoming way," end quote. They're ready to do it again next year, hoping to exchange even more stories and, of course, QSL cards. This is John Williams, VK4JJW.
With emergency communications embracing digital modes more and more, operators increasingly find themselves navigating the tricky landscape of system access and compatibility. Randy Sly, W4XJ, tells us how this played out for a group of amateurs in Indiana.
In April of this year, the Du Bois County Office of Emergency Management in Indiana made the decision to migrate from analog FM to C4 FM digital for their 147.195 repeater during activations. The change was made to reduce noise during operation and increase the quality of copy. According to Gary Fritz, WB9LIB, operations officer for the EMA, quote, "Our new fusion repeater system was thoroughly tested to confirm its superior performance when using C4FM," end quote. When the announcement was made to the Patoka Valley Amateur Radio Club, not all the club members were enthusiastic. Since some of them did not own a fusion-compatible radio, this decision would exclude them from emergency operations with Skywarn. Fritz told AR Newsline that the change has brought about the desired results in message quality as proven by recent Skywarn activation during severe weather. Quote, "We found that by using C4FM, our units are now able to check in crystal clear from locations that were previously impossible," end quote. A number of local amateurs remain unconvinced regarding the move to digital. Ruben Montgomery, KA9RCM, told Newsline that his main concern is centered primarily on the lack of access to the emergency communications by hams without fusion radios and by visitors who are passing through the area. With the variety of digital platforms, he also sees great difficulty in picking one mode to the exclusion of all others. Regarding participation, Fritz reported that the public and all amateur radio operators can continue to monitor net communications through audio streaming over Broadcastify. This is Randy Sly, W4XJ.
The largest island in the state of Washington is Whidbey Island, connected to the United States mainland by bridge and ferry, and perhaps even more importantly these days, by radio. George Zafiropoulos explains why.
As of the weekend ending on Sunday, June 8th, 8 new amateur radio operators have received their licenses on Whidbey Island. These newcomers are contributing to an important momentum on this island in Puget Sound, where ham radio operators from the Island County Amateur Radio Club have been giving top priority to emergency preparedness, following a recent conference on the subject held by the South Whidbey Fire EMS. Response from that conference inspired the hams to host the weekend test preparation class, which ended with the amateur radio exam itself. One of the instructors, Bob Keaton, K7MHJ, told Newsline that with the new amateurs on board, the next step is to get the island neighborhoods organized for improved radio response in a crisis. A neighborhood representative with a GMRS radio would be able to communicate with a ham who also holds a GMRS license, and together they would gather damage assessment data and pass that along to the county. Bob, a retired police officer, said that the hams have the ability to use WinLink peer-to-peer and VARA AC-FM to reach the Emergency Operations Center. As a volunteer civilian coordinator between the hams and the Island County Department of Emergency Management, Bob knows that living near an earthquake-prone fault line, such as the Cascadia subduction zone, requires this kind of readiness. He said, "Anytime we can add another link to our amateur network, I'm happy." This is George Zafiropoulos, KJ6VU.
Be listening for the call sign W0Y between the evening of Sunday, June 15th, and late afternoon on Friday, June 20th. You'll be getting so much more than a QSO with a young radio operator as we hear from Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
A lot of activity will be packed into the Bob Heil, Kilo 9, Echo India Delta Memorial Yoda Camp Amateur Radio Shack in Thornton, Colorado, between the 15th and the 20th of June. Young operators from the Youth on the Air Americas Camp will be calling CQ remotely and in person from there with the call sign W0Y. As well as a scheduled contact with the International Space Station and making satellite contacts, they will be operating portable making soda and POTA activations and visiting the timekeeping radio station WWV and a Bucky's truck stop. If you miss any chance to contact them or just want to follow along with their activities, don't miss the opening and closing ceremonies and the ISS contact, all of which will be streamed live on the Youth on the Air YouTube channel. The channel will also feature daily videos of some of the campers' activities from the previous day. It's almost as much fun as being a camper yourself. We did say almost. For more details or to see the operating schedule, visit QRZ.com. This is Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
The expeditioners heading to Micronesia, Equatorial Guinea, and and Wallace Island are getting a financial boost from the Northern California DX Foundation. We have details from Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
The 9-member team of German operators planning the V6D expedition to Micronesia in September has been named as one of the latest recipients of grant money to assist their activation. The team has scheduled operations from September 22nd through October 6th. This is a group of seasoned expeditioners who have had a number of other successful radio adventures together. The Foundation is also supporting the 3C2MD expedition to Vico Island in Equatorial Guinea. The operators are from the Mediterraneo DX Club, which has planned their activation from October 9th through to November 10th. Finally, Hannah Rosenfeld, W7HER, has received a grant for her role as an operator on the FW5KD expedition to Wallace Island in the South Pacific. The participating expeditioners, including Hannah's father, Scott, N7JI, are part of the team known as DX Obsessed. Hannah is the founder of W7DUX, the radio club at the University of Oregon, where she is an alumna. The expedition is set for October 20 through to November 7th. This is Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, like the George County Aries repeater in Lucedale, Mississippi, Wednesdays at 7:37 p.m. local time. In the U.S., Oregon has become the latest state to proclaim June to be Amateur Radio Month. Governor Tina Kotek issued the proclamation in time for ARRL Field Day, which is taking place in the U.S. and Canada on the 28th and 29th of June. The state is a busy place on the ham radio map, both for hosting the convention of the Northwest Division of the ARRL and its location on an earthquake fault line that keeps emergency responders alert. Governors in Hawaii and New Hampshire recently issued similar proclamations in their respective states. If you're planning to attend this year's convention of the Radio Society of Great Britain, you can do something more than simply mark your calendar for the dates in October and then show up. Jeremy Boot, G4NGH, tells us about something else you may want to consider doing.
Attendees will be arriving at Kent Hill Conference Centre in Milton Keynes on the 10th of October for the 3-day RSGB convention. The RSGB is hoping that many of those in attendance will also help shape the content of the conference by bringing a project, paper for presentation, or plans for a practical session. If you want to get involved, share your ideas with the RSGB and let them know what you have planned, send your proposals to convention@rsgb.org.uk. Meanwhile, satellite enthusiasts will be pleased to know that, as before, AMSAT UK will hold its colloquium during the convention. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
AMSAT has given the designation of SO-125 to the Hades ICM satellite that was launched on March 14th from California. The satellite from AMSAT EA is SDR-based and supports FM phone and FSK digital data through its repeater. The SDR-based platform is especially significant because it can transmit as much as 25 watts when the battery allows, giving access to stations who are using handheld antennas. The coordinated uplink frequency is 145.875 megahertz, and the downlink is 436.666 megahertz. The repeater operates with an open squelch and does not require a subtone. In the world of DX, ZL100 IARU is on the air through the 31st of July, marking the centenary of the International Amateur Radio Union. A special event QSL card has been printed, and confirmation is also on LOTW10QRZ.com. Listen for operators using CW, SSB, and FT8. Pascal F6UIG will be active as TK2C from Corsica, IOTA number EU014 through the 23rd of June, using CW and SSB on 40 to 10 meters. You may also hear him doing POTA using the call sign TK/F6UIG/P. See QRZ.com for details. John W5JON is on the air from St. Kitts, Iota, number NA104 from the 15th to the 24th of June with the call sign V47JA. John will be using SSB and FT8 on various bands and will focus on 6 meters. See QRZ.com for QSL details. A team of operators using the call sign YW6M will be using SSB, CW, digital, and satellite from Isla Chimana Segunda, Iota number SA090 from the 20th through the 24th of June, QSL direct to W4 DTA. We end this newscast by sharing a little magic. Meet some hams who pulled some QSOs out of, well, not a hat, but the 6-meter band. Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB, shares their story.
Mike, N2MAK, is one of those hams who believes in magic. It's the kind of enchantment that brings possibilities to summertime in the Northern Hemisphere when sporadic E propagation is strong, breathing new life into 6 meters. These moments aren't summoned by a magic wand or an incantation. On the 25th of May, Mike and his friends Fred, N2RPG, Michael, W2NVP, Brian, W2BMT, and many others who took up the challenge of this just-for-fun 6-meter FM activity day, found that just calling CQ will do the trick. Activating a POTA park with Mike and the others, the magic happened first for Fred, who made his first 6-meter contact ever. Within 2 hours, the friends had worked 16 unique stations on 6 meters FM locally, logging 18 contacts in all because one was at a POTA threefer. Said Mike, quote, "We had an absolute blast," end quote. Others apparently found the magic too. Mike told Newsline, quote, "What meant the most to me was the positive response from hams across the U.S. and Canada who reached out to me," end quote. Mike's hope that hams would want to try something different, in the true spirit of amateur radio adventure, was no illusion. All it took was the simple wave of a band, instead of a hand, to make it happen. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB.
To see videos about the event, see the YouTube links in the text version of this week's script at arnewsline.org. A good QSO can be like poetry sometimes, so why not write a haiku about amateur radio and join the Newsline Haiku Challenge? It's as easy as writing a QSL card. We can only accept the correct haiku format, that is a 3-line verse with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. Submit your work on our website at arnewsline.org. Each week's winner gets a shout-out on our website, where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to Amateur News Daily, AMSAT, Amateur Radio Digital Communications, Bob Keaton, K7MHJ, David Behar, K7DB, DX World IP400 website, Morteza EP5APP, Oregon Governor's Office, QRZ.com, Radio Society of Great Britain, shortwaveradio.de, South Whitby Record Wireless Institute of Australia, WRTC List, Youth on the Air, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer nonprofit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Stephen Kinford, NAWB in Wadsworth, Ohio, saying 73, and as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2025, all rights reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 11 minutes.
don't listen for letters. He listens for words. I never got that far, but anyway, but this Jim fella, and I think they were kits, because he built these kits, and they might have been MFJ or some brand name, that were, I don't even know if they were a half a watt. They were low power. And I think he had a 9-volt battery in some of those, and that's an awful small battery, and he got a power supply to power it. But he used to get on CW with what he was talking about 300 mils. I mean, here because I'm using the speaker mic, and that my audio may not be as good, but with the speaker mic I can hold and talk longer. But if I'm holding an HT, I got to switch hands. W8VPV.
Yeah, W8VPV, KAA, definitely W. Yeah, the bird watt, that's called a slug. At least that's what most people call it, that round thing you stick in there. And I've got a bird watt. And,
W8VPV.
That's the problem with mine. I need some lower power slugs because I've got 3 slugs. One is for UHF from 400 to 1,000 meg, and it's 250 watt slug. And I've got a 100 to 250 megacycle, and it's a 100 watt slug. And then I've got one for the low end at 25 to 60 megacycle, and it's a 100 watt slug. So it makes it a little hard to read if you're dealing with 5 watts. But there you have it. I've been on eBay. You can still buy the slugs, but I don't think I've ever seen anything much less than around 50 watts. So I'll have to get on there and look. But they're darn expensive. That's why I never bothered to buy any. They wanted like $50 a piece for them. So I figured, well, I'll just manage with what I've got. My little MFJ meter, it's designed to work 5 watts and below. But it's got a sensitivity knob on there, so you can turn it down and work with higher power. But it's got a calibration point on it for 5 watts, which is what I use with my little QRP rig. So, yeah, talking about copying and sending the CW, about the best I ever got. I got up to around 15 words a minute when I was doing it all the time. But I had the same problem. I could not copy it in my head. I had to write it down, and I couldn't write any faster. So that was the biggest problem with that. And I don't get on very much like I used to, so my speed is way down. I'm probably down closer to 10 or 12 words per minute. I suppose if I did it 3 or 4 times a week, it might come back up. Now, the guy that used to live 2 doors up from me, who passed away several years ago, his name Tom Carroll, and I can't remember his call, but he was real big-time CW operator. He was into all the Ohio nets and all that. He was a CW operator in the Navy, I think, during the Korean conflict. And honest to God, I was up there at his house one day, and he had 3 different conversations going at the same time on CW. I have no idea how you can do that. But he had a bug, he had an electronic here, and a straight key. on 3 different radios, and he was working 3 different guys at the same time. And it was just like you and me talking. I mean, back and forth. It was just amazing. That's a lifetime of CW operating, I'll tell you. Really nice guy, Tom Carroll. I think not too long before he passed away, he said he was going to finally be good to himself, and he went out and he bought himself a top-of-the-line Kenwood. It was like, I don't know, a 920 or something like that at the time. And passed away a short time after. Oh, well, I guess we're only here for a short time anyway, aren't we?
I'll tell you, I can't chew gum and do anything else at once, so I don't have to worry about 3 keys going at one time. Yeah, I got to really be alert for one CW signal coming in. And if I had 2 radios and 2 people talking in English, I could only go with one at a time. So I never, even when I was younger, you know, one thing at a time type of person. Well, I'll tell you on that one. But I know some of the guys that got good at CW, ones that did it in the service, or a telegraph, or a professional, or whatever. I hear stories about it, but.
Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday Night VHF UHF Net. My name is Thomas, and my call sign is KE8OWX. However, for the purpose of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open and directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information, to enhance net operating practices, and at times of social isolation, to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m., preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We'll start with announcements, then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that's complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time, allowing me a chance to confirm each call before moving on to the next. When we work through those 5 check-ins and ask for 5 more, we'll continue this until we're done. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call, repeat it phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been worked, we'll close the net after repeating the announcements. We also operate an HF plus 6-meter band exploration net at 9:30 after this net. The approximate frequencies are posted on the website. Tonight we'll be on 40 meters at approximately 7 Mark 187 megahertz. Please join us if you have the privileges and the equipment. So the big announcement we have is Field Day is 2 weekends away, and so there is a bunch of stuff this week and next week in preparing for that. And there was an email sent out, if you could please fill out the participation survey to let us know if you will or will not be joining us and able to help us in any of those ways. If you don't, you fill that out, you'll probably end up getting a phone call from one of the members that is in charge of getting all that set up. So other than that, I don't have any other announcements that I think we have, but we'll open it up to anybody with traffic or other announcements for the club. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Whoever that was, you were not holding the repeater open. If you want to give it another shot, go ahead. That was all static, so see if you can get into a better spot or up the power, and we'll come back to you. Anybody else that may have an announcement for the club? Hearing none, we'll go for regular check-ins. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. We're looking for 5 check-ins. Give me your call sign and give me a chance to confirm it. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar. Delta Golf Delta. Bill in Macedonia. In and out.
All right, Vince, I got you, and Bill, I got you in and out. Next, please. That was a double, and I didn't get either of you. Please come back.
K8PU.
Got you, Larry. Next, please.
Whiskey 8, Echo Zulu Tango.
I got you, Frank, and we're looking for one more.
W8VPV, this is Kilo Echo 8 Victor Quebec X-Ray, KE8VQX Joe, Akron.
All right, got you, Joe. We'll go up to the top, AC8XL. Go ahead, Vince.
Good evening, everyone on the net. I decided not to, break in on announcements, but my usual announcement is anybody's got anything for the newsletter, that would be nice, especially if you're doing field day stuff. Write something up and submit to the newsletter. I'll be more than happy to publish it. Other than that, I don't have a whole heck of a lot. It's humid, it's warm, it's going to get hotter than heck. But other than that, I'm just going to stay inside the air conditioning. Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar, back to net.
Thanks for stopping by, Vince. K8PU, you're up, Larry.
Hey, Thomas, everybody on the net. Start out by thanking folks. Thank you for doing the net. And thank everybody who accepted the nominations and the office for officers. And thanks, Vince, on the newsletter. You guys accepting that and taking the responsibility for another year, it's time it takes away from your personal time, your family, and very much appreciated. It keeps the club alive. And you guys have done a heck of a job the last year, with lower amount of people cooperating and getting things achieved at the club, and really got to hand it to you. Anyways, thanks to all of you for accepting the job for another year. And with a little luck on my antenna of things, I'll catch you on 40 meters, 9:30. Back to you, W8VPV, K8PU.
Thanks for stopping by, Larry. Great to hear you. Frank, you're up, W8EZT.
Good evening, Thomas. Everybody out there, appreciate doing the net tonight. Yes, Field Day is the big event. It's coming up in less than 2 weeks now. Last-minute planning is underway, and again, if you would like to participate this year, please do sign up on the email or on the website. We want to make sure we have enough food to cover you, and we, of course, do need some special functions in addition to help with setup, help with teardown. We need people to operate, and of course, somebody to manage food, somebody to make sure that water and pop is available, so on like that. We do have a lot of coolers this year, so it should be going pretty smooth. One thing coming up, at the clubhouse next Wednesday, a week from Wednesday, will be a presentation by Anthony on operating two types of radios. The two that we're going to have out there, an Yaesu FT710 and a Yaesu FT-DX10, how to operate them, how to use them through N1MM, the logging software. We'll have a computer up there to experiment with. So if you're planning on operating, or you're planning on buying one of those rigs, or you're going to operate from home and you still want to see how these rigs work with the logging software, come on up to the clubhouse. That's next week, week from Wednesday at 5 p.m. Here, pause. That'll be the 25th, Wednesday, the 25th of June. We'll have training on both machines from 5 to probably around 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock or so. So by all means, join us up at the clubhouse. That's all I got, Thomas. We'll hand it back to you. W8ECT, back to Ned.
Thank you, Frank. KE8VQX, Joe, you're up.
W8VPV, this is KE8VQX. Hi, Thomas, and everyone else on the net. Thanks for getting me in there. Just looking at my schedule, I may have field day off. I can't commit to anything, but might be able to show up here and there to help out with some stuff. I'll just be some guy that shows up at random. Anyway, look forward to trying to get a hold of you guys on 40 meters later. This is KE8VQX. Back to you, Thomas, W8VPV.
Well, thanks for stopping by, and pay attention to the website. There will be announcements on help days and other stuff of that nature. That if they work for your schedule, that would be wonderful. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. That's the bottom of the first round. We're looking for 5 more check-ins. Please call now.
8 Victor. Again more.
Go ahead and give me your call sign again.
8 Victor Hotel Kilo.
VHK, got you. Next, please. WO3X. Got you, John. Next, please.
KF8DTA.
Got DTA. We're looking for 2 more.
KF8, AXM, in and out.
Got AXM in and out. And 1 more, please.
KE8 DQR.
KF8, ABD, South Merriman Valley, in and out tonight.
Alright, I got AVD in and out, and I got PQR. Keith, we'll go up to the top, and VHK, you're up.
John, Juliet, Oscar Hotel, November. Hello to everybody on the net. Yeah, I saw the newsletter, and I checked the list. I had signed up about a month and a half ago to do some things, but it said only 2 people were signed up, and when I checked it, I wasn't on the list. I will get back on here in the next couple hours here and resubmit my times I'm going to be out there. I decided I rented a campsite out there, so I'll be 1 row up from the club. I'll have my motorhome out there. I'm going to bring a case of water, a bunch of chips for everybody, and hopefully I can operate all night long. Other than that, I got nothing else for the net. Like I said, I will get back online and check the website, but I had signed up once before and nothing seemed to got published, but I will do it again. Back to the net, W8VPV, Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Hotel Kilo.
Thanks for stopping by, John, and we'll see you out there. And I think there may be an update to the spreadsheet or so. So go ahead and resubmit. Just make sure we have all the information, and somebody will be in touch. W8VPV, John, you're up.
Good evening, Thomas, and all on the net. This is W8VPV. That latest email about Field Day mentions that the time slots have not been set up yet, and that there'll be a later setting up of that pretty soon. So that's the story on that. Let's see. I concur with Larry about the election there, so the new officers and the new trustee there. Also, on June 30th, that's a fifth Monday. So the band exploration net will have it on 12 meters. 12 meters, and I think the frequency is like 24.972. I think that's what it might be, but that'll be published in the calendar there. So let me look up that frequency so that and I'll get back later in this net here. This is W8VPV, back to the net.
All right, John, thanks for stopping by. That's a good call there on the 12 meters for the 5th Monday there. And we'll look forward to your recheck. KF8DTA, you're up.
Good evening, everybody. This is KF8DTA, Jeff in New Franklin. I'm just hanging out here with the family and playing with some FT8 on the 710, and we're on 6 meters. So, come find me. Back to net control, KF8DTA.
Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. We're down to the bottom of the list here. KE8TQR, you're up.
Whiskey 8, Victor, Papa Victor. This is Kilo Echo 8, Tango, Quebec, Romeo, KE8TQR. Good evening, Thomas. Thanks for taking my check-in, and good evening to everyone else here on the net. Had a wonderful weekend this weekend. I did watch the parade in D.C. I thought it was wonderful. And then yesterday it was not only Father's Day, but it was my birthday as well, so I turned the big 7-0. So I am now officially an old man. Hi. Pretty good day here at the QTH. The wife and I did go out. She had a doctor's appointment, had to pick up her new hearing aid, and she's very happy with that. And then it was back here to the house where I got my new cable in. You can tell I'm old because I can never remember words when I keep rambling. Interface cable for my 7100 to my tablet so I can do some logging with the N1MM down the road. Anyway, that's about all I got. Just want to wish everyone a great evening, great rest of the week, and fine job you're doing tonight, Thomas. Running the net, do appreciate it. And I'll probably be over on 40 meters later. This is KE8TQR saying 73 and God bless.
Glad to have you, Keith. Thanks for stopping by. And sounds like you're in trouble now. She's going to hear what you're muttering under your breath. This is Whiskey 8, Victor, Papa Victor. We're looking for additional check-ins. Please call now.
Alpha Delta 8, Papa Foxtrot, Greg, Cuyahoga Falls.
At 88 PF, Next, please.
Kilo 8, Papa Julie Whiskey, KAPKW, Philip in Twinsburg.
I got you, Phil. Anybody else? We'll go with what we got. AD8PF, you're up.
Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, this is Alpha Delta 8 Papa Foxtrot. Just wanted to wish everyone a happy Monday. Hope everybody that's a father or grandfather had a good Father's Day yesterday. I know I did. Feasting at the afternoon with our scout troop, emptying trash cans at the Irish Fest. And I'm just downloading some email through WinLink right now. So that's all. I just wanted to check in. Looking forward to field day. Clear?
Thanks for stopping by. Good to hear you, and hopefully we see you at field day. Phil, K8PJW. Glad to hear you from Twinsburg. Come on.
W8VPV, K8PJW. Good evening, everyone. I'm Phil from Twinsburg here, K8PJW. Just got off the Aries net. A good net here. I thought I'd hang around and join you guys. We're just about finished with our preparation to get ready for summer travel. We have a passenger van we converted to a camper van, and we love just touring the country, seeing things that we used to fly on when we were working. So we're in the midst of strawberry season, enjoying that, and had a good Father's Day. We actually celebrated for a good friend of ours that we knew growing up through high school, so that was a lot of fun. And thanks for doing the net, Tommy. Doing a great job. This is KAPKW. Back to the net.
Thanks for sticking around, saying hi there, Phil. And have a good time out with the camper this summer. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. We're looking for any more check-ins. Please call now.
W3X recheck.
Go ahead with your recheck.
Thanks. This is W3X regarding the band exploration net on the 5th Monday of June, which is the day after field day. That'll be Monday, June 30th. We will be on 12 meters, and the frequency that we set for 12 meters is 24.972 megahertz. Now, these band exploration nets are going like with the last two digits of our 2-meter repeater. So we either go like 27 or 87. Like this evening, we're going to shoot for 7.187, but 24.927 is not in the voice portion of the 12-meter band, and 24.987 is too close to the edge of the band, so that's why we reversed the two digits and made it 24.972 megahertz. So that's the story on the band exploration net on June 30th at 9:30 p.m. This is W3X, back to the net.
Thanks for the update there, John. We'll put that on the announcement list. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. We're looking for any more check-ins. Please call now.
This is Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Lima Charlie, KE8 ULC, Kurt.
Go ahead, Kurt.
This is for John and the 6-meter net last night. I was having trouble getting into the repeater. I finally figured it out. I have the A = B button and the AB button. And and my dyslexia overtakes me. So that's the mystery that is why I have missed the plus minus button and had trouble getting into the repeater. So back to you at W8VPV. This is KE8ULC.
That'll happen there, Kurt. Good to hear you. Thanks for jumping around here and joining us. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Looking for any additional check-ins, please call now. Hearing none, we'll go ahead and go through our announcements real quick. Real easy. We've only got a couple more weekends till field day, and so let's get on that email that was sent out today. We need to know your level of participation so we can do some planning. So if you haven't done that, please fill out that questionnaire, and hopefully we'll see you out there. Secondly, next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but the 25th, one of those things preparing for field day will be a presentation and hands-on on logging with N1MM and the two radios that we're going to have out at field day. So if you want, haven't done any of that before, or just want some hands-on time with a couple of the radios that we've got, go ahead and do that. That'll be out at the clubhouse at 5 p.m. And lastly, it's already the third weekend of the month, and it doesn't seem like it. But that means that we have 5 Mondays, and so that means the 5th Monday is not in our usual rotation. We're going to use 12 meters for that, and that'll be around 24,972. Probably will be very easy to get on that, but go ahead and check up or down if you don't hear anybody. That is the 5th Monday. All right, that's all we have for announcements. Everything's happening very quickly this month. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Last call for check-ins. Please call now. Hearing none, we'll prepare to close the net and thank everybody that took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, we would not have a net. This has been KE8OWX. It's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. And at this time, we'll close the net with 14 check-ins and 1 recheck. We'll return the repeater to normal and customary amateur use, and I will announce the found frequency for 40 meters a little bit closer to that 9:30 time on this repeater. This has been Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 8:57 p.m. local time, 73.
Thanks, Thomas. Great job on the net. KE8TQR. Keith, you monitoring? KE8TQR. Keith, you still on the band? Nothing heard. W8ECT clear and monitoring.
W8VPV. Repeater.
Esfuerzos posibles que llevan a esto, incluyendo la participación. El presidente señaló que los ataques las noticias en la voz de Turquía. El primer ministro israelí Benjamin Netanyahu declaró que un cambio de régimen en Irán definitivamente podría ser una consecuencia de las operaciones militares en curso de Israel. Deseos de Fox.
You know, the three filters I got, I have them set up for different conditions. Based on how weak a station is, how strong a station is, and my passband is not set wide. My passband is 200 to 2900 is how I got my passband set to transmit. But I really like it. I mean, there's a lot of different things. You know, it's you can do a lot more with it than you can do with the FTDX10. It's got more flexibility, and of course you can't beat the audio of a Kenwood. Either receive or transmit. It's just very good. So this is the one I use the most, but I do use the FTDX10 also. Every now and then I fire that up and use it. It's a nice little radio. I mean, it really is. It's the only thing I don't like about it. It's a little bit tight around the VFO, and things are tight around the VFO knob.
But other than that, it's a great little radio and has a lot of good qualities about it, especially on the receive side. So yeah, it's a nice little rig, and it's not nearly as expensive as this is on the 890. Back to you there, Pete. Papa Alpha 9, Papa Alpha, Whiskey Uniform 9, Papa. I'm glad you got me something to look forward to now. KF4THN, it's going to be a good time.
You're talking at somebody.
Man, it's going to be a good time.
Give me your phone number, buddy, and I'll call you.
Bad night. You're up.
3+1.
Thank you, Stan. Thanks for calling in that. Break with you. Let's try Golf 6 Victor Foxtrot. Steven, any copy? Whiskey Echo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta.
It's, you know what? It's been over, geez, I can't believe it's been that long. It's been over a year, almost a year and a half. My goodness there, my man, where you been? So, you know, if I don't hear you in here much, Dom, I forget you. I forget call signs. So, anyway, yeah, real nice to hear you in there. Hope you've been doing well, and glad you dropped in on me tonight. Always nice hearing you in there. Nice to catch up with you there, my friend. Back to you. WA1AYY WU9P.
Yeah, okay, this is you too. Matter of fact, just signal 10. I don't know what you're running, but you sound like a broadcast station. You're 30 over. I've been around. I've been on every day, just about. But you know, lately, as we all know, about a week ago, we had a radio blackout with that the sun.
Going the other way.
Got you going the other way, Tom. Let's go down to Louisiana. KI5 UPP Gunner. Your turn for a call.
I really like it. So yeah, I've been. I don't know. I think I've had this rig for, I'm going to say 3 months now, something like that. Around 3 months I've had this TS890, and really like it. Really enjoying it. But yeah, definitely made some changes here. And since the last time we talked, I'm still shocked it's been that long. My goodness, how time flies, right? Anyway, Dom, let me send it back to you there. Oh, by the way, we had a couple of crappy days here. You know, well, you're getting it up there too, I'm sure, up there in Mass. I don't think it's too much nicer than it is down here in Virginia. It's been kind of damp, drizzling, rainy for the past couple of days in a row here. So Supposed to get a little bit of sunshine tomorrow. We'll see how that works out. Back to you there, Dom. AYY, WU9P.
Okay, that's very good. Excellent copy there. The CS890 sounds terrific. Really, really nice. Just give me a quick rundown there. How much power are you running? What's the antenna, Brad?
Yeah, right now I'm running right about 1,000 watts, and the antenna's the 14-element Yagi, and last time I've had that for I don't know, maybe 4 years now. The 14-element JK.
Oh yeah, I get the picture. Oh my God, that thing is really beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, man. It's kicking some butt up there, I'll tell you. And the 1 gallon power here, the kilowatt, certainly helping. So I'm just running medium station, just under 100 watts into a couple of antennas, right?
Well, you're solid in here. Yeah, you're always coming nice and strong. So never have a problem hearing you. You're almost 10 over. So real solid station. In fact, when you came in, the other gentleman I was talking to, Peter over there in the Netherlands, had my gain cranked up a little bit more. But when you came in, I cranked down on my gain. So so I could bring it down a little bit there. But yeah, you're sounding good. No problem at all. Always coming in nice. So what you been up to? Yeah, I'm in here quite a bit too. And like you said, Dom, the bands, especially the upper bands, have been trashed.
And we're using an FTDX 101.
At least a month or two now. They've been in rough shape. Every now and then 17 works, and 20 always works, and 40 of course. But yeah, the upper band's been horrible. Like you said, the business going on with the sun, kind of hampering communications in a big way. Like I said, especially on those upper bands. And even down here, sometimes it gets kind of crappy, even on 40 and 20. But usually, I can at least make contacts on those two bands. So, anyway, Dom, back to you.
Okay, that's very good. Yeah, you're right about the bands. The upper bands are dead. But I'll tell you, back in the last winter, January and February, the bands were really good. 10 meters, I was working on, and this is Dublin, I worked 7 bands. It cut for the 75-meter band, 120 feet long. It would open wire lines to a 72-year-old Johnson Matchbox. And this thing is just getting me on 7 bands, and I can hop around with no problem at all. The last January, February, March, I was working all over the place in all the bands. A lot of my friends from Scandinavia and all over Europe and even sometimes South Africa and all that. It was a lot of fun, but that's gone now. But you know what? It's going to come back. I think it'll come back. It does that. But the older bands like to play that are easy and half decent is this band and this 20-meter band. And during the day, the bands are dead. I don't know if you noticed that. I don't really hear anything during the day, Brad.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Because, sometimes, a lot, I'll get in here early on and check out 10 and 12 and 15 and 17, and they're pretty much not working. So, but yeah, it's a shame. The 10 meters and 12 meters usually kind of peters out a little bit in the summertime, but I mean, it's been downright dead. Every now and then I might hear on 10 meters, I might hear some local stations, maybe some ground wave stuff. Every now and then I'll hear a net in there or whatever. I don't really bother with those too much at all. But I hear them in there on 10, but like I said, it's definitely not any DX at all. It's mainly local stuff, you know, like I said, like ground wave stuff. So that's about all I ever hear up there when I check. But yeah, well, we'll see, you know, hopefully things will perk up a little bit. I don't know. I have a feeling this sun, unless the sun calms down, I just have a feeling this summer is not going to be good for the upper bands. And you know, normally it does peter out in the summer, especially 10 and 12 and all, but yeah, you know, not as bad as it has been, put it that way. So we'll see. You know what they say, Dom, time will tell, so we'll kind of see what happens. If not, you know, I always got 20 and 40 to go to. I don't have anything for the lower bands. I don't really care for them that much anyway. You know, 80 and 160. So yeah, usually I have to go to either 20 or 40 and play around on those couple bands until things get a little bit better. You know, 17 works occasionally. That's not as bad as the other bands, but it's not working tonight. I can tell you that because I checked. Anyway, yeah, Don, so hey, we'll have to hang in there. At least we're able to communicate, you know. At least we can get in here on 40 and 20 and do some talking and make some contacts. So that's good. You know, it's not completely a lost cause. Back to you there, Don.
Hey, you know what I wonder? Maybe you kind of wonder the same thing. Now, we're in the northern hemisphere, so those upper bands for us are dead. I wonder if it's the same thing in the southern hemisphere. Let's say you were a station in, let's say New Zealand or Australia or South Africa. I wonder if those guys, the bands, is okay for them. I wonder if it's the same for them. Go ahead.
I don't think so. They pick up different areas. I know sometimes, because I can tell, I look on DX Heat, and I can tell that guys are communicating out there, you know, maybe from Asia to Europe or Oceania area, you know, out there in New Zealand and Australia and places like that, Philippines. They'll be talking. I see them, you know, going back and forth, you know, to either Europe, you know, places like that, and you know, I can see the transmit and receive frequencies and who's talking to who. So, yeah, they're talking to each other, but not here. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure about South America. Sometimes opens up to us here at night on you know, 20 meters here, or sometimes you might get lucky on 10 meters and be able to pick up South America stations on 10 at night. But yeah, they're communicating. They're not communicating with us here in North America, which includes Canada too. So, but yeah, they're you know, when I look in here, I see the stations in there. So it's not all over. It's just certain areas that get blocked out. You know, it's kind of like us here. You know, I guess, you know, we can talk to you know, Missouri and Nevada and California and, you know, places like that, Arkansas. You know, the Dakotas and Minnesota, Michigan. You know, I routinely talk to places there, Illinois, and when you look at the size and proximity of those countries, if the skip distance is 500,000-600,000 miles,
W8VPV,
they're all talking to each other.
repeater.
You know, but we're not. So
this is KE8OWX. We'll be right at 7 Mark 187. 7 Mark 187.
And when I look, you know, I don't see any U.S. stations in there, you know, or Canadian stations. It's all, you know, it's not us. So yeah, they're talking out there. So that it's just how the propagation works, certain areas, and it'll give me, it'll tell me what the band activity is continent to continent. So if I put in North America, it'll tell me what the propagation is, whether it's Europe, whether it's South America, whether it's Asia, Africa, Oceania. So it'll tell me what band is active and what part of the world, what continent. So right now, all it's showing me right now on 20 meters is there is some European activity. This kind of tells you where the DX is coming in at. So there is some decent activity on this band. No, on 20 meters, I'm sorry. On 40, it's just nothing. There's nothing. No DX, but I just talked to a fellow in the Netherlands, so there you go. I mean, it's not showing anything with respects to propagation, but, well, it's a little, it shows a little bit of color, but not much. Very, very light. So, anyway, I don't want to get too drawn out on that. W8VPV,
where the Earth is in position with the sun, all that stuff. It's pretty complicated, I think. It's kind of like the weather, meteorology is complicated. It's not really an exact science, that's for sure. It's an inexact science, but mathematics is an exact science. 2 plus 2 is 4, but the other stuff is sort of a guess, But I think it's where you are in the Earth and what the season is. I really think so. Who knows? All right, Chuck, I'm going to let you go. I might pop up back up to the 20-meter band. I did work at the Spanish station and Sardinia and a couple other places too. And the other night, a couple nights ago, I worked Kuwait. Pretty good. I worked Kuwait 6,160 miles from my house with 100 watts. I thought that was pretty good. So let's go there, Chuck. I see you again. Have fun. Have a good week. And we'll catch you down the road there. W8VPV.
Yeah, okay, Dom. Yeah, there's some DX stations to be had on 20. That's where I came down from 20 and made some decent contacts up there. And then I came here to 40 to give it a go here. So yeah, get up there and give it a shot. There is some propagation there to Europe. So, well, you take care there, Dom, and real nice hearing you out there. And yeah, you hear me. Don't be a stranger. If you hear me out here jaw jacking, just give me a shout. Even if I'm talking to somebody, I'll certainly bring you in. So you take care and enjoy the rest of your evening there, my friend. Whiskey Alpha 1, Alpha Yankee, Whiskey.
However, for the purpose of this net, I'll be using the club call. Whiskey 8, Victor, Papa Victor. This is an open and directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic should go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information, to test radio equipment and antennas, to enhance net operating practices, and at times of social isolation, to keep members up to date about club happenings. This night meets here every Monday evening at 9:30 p.m. Preceded by the repeater net on the VHF UHF repeaters at 8:30. We'll quickly go through the announcements, then ask for any check-ins with additional announcements. Before we go to regular check-ins, we're looking for 5 at a time, giving me a chance to confirm each call before we move on to the next. We'll work through 5 check-ins at a time, and then we'll go on to the next 5 until we've completed. If you're a regular participant, I may recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call, repeat it phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been worked, we'll close the net after repeating the announcements. And the announcements are very quickly. Field day is in 2 weekends. So we've got a lot of setup, prep, and things to do. So there'll be announcements and emails for different items. We also have an email that went out today that was your anticipated participation. So if you remember and you don't fill that out, you may get a phone call trying to see if you're going to be able to help and when that would be. So please fill out that questionnaire. Next Wednesday, not this week, but on the 25th at 5 p.m., we'll have a meeting at the clubhouse to go through logging and some hands-on with the 2 radios we're going to be using at Field Day. And lastly, we do have a 5th Monday in the month, and so that 5th Monday, this band exploration mat will be on 12 meters, 24,972 megahertz. So that's all the announcements I have. This is Whiskey Victor Papa Victor, looking to see if we have any additional announcements for the net. Please call that. And hearing none, we'll go into regular check-ins. This is Whiskey Victor Papa Victor looking for check-ins. Please call now.
Great deal.
I got you, Larry. Next, please.
W3X, Whiskey Oscar, 3 X-ray.
W3X, got you. Next, please. Whiskey 8, Echo Zulu Tango. I got you, Frank. Next check-in, please.
KE8TQR.
KE8TQR. I heard you out there. Is there one more sitting out there?
Kilo Echo 8, Victor, Quebec X-ray. Go.
I got you, KE8VQX. That's 5. So go. KHPU. Go ahead.
Good evening, Thomas.
Okay.
Apparently, my antenna is the greatest in the world. Anyway, 2-meter net. I want to thank all you guys for accepting the positions of officers, and thanks for last year, everybody's in the same position of good job, and we appreciate you taking it, doing it over again. Though it takes time away from your families and your personal time, and we do appreciate the effort. And thanks also to the for doing the newsletter. With that, back to you, Thomas. W8VPV, KHPU.
Thanks for stopping by, Larry. Good to hear you again. John, W03X, you're up.
Good evening, Thomas, and all on the net. This is W03X. Again, like the other net there, I concur with Larry on his comments about the election and about the newsletter. And let's see, Let's see, not much else. Everything else has been covered here. So thanks for running the net, and I hear a lot of noise, but the signals that are checking in are very good. So with that, this is W8V3X back to the net.
Yeah, thanks, John. Let's hope that all right, Frank, you're up. That's ATBZT.
Oh, good evening, everybody, and again, Thomas, thanks for doing the net. Don't have a lot to add. Working on field day plans right now. I do have an email out to the officers and trustees. I'll be going out to the barn, the storage barn, to pick up some equipment tomorrow at 1 p.m. If anybody out there can join us, please drop me an email. Let me know. I don't need a whole lot of people, but 2 or 3 other people would help. We got to load some mast poles and the stakes and some ropes and everything that we're going to need for putting up the antennas. So if you get a chance, by all means, join me tomorrow 1 o'clock at the Kaiser Barn and drop me mail. My call, W8VPV at cpark.org, and let me know you're going to be there. If it is raining, we're going to push it one way or the other to try to avoid the rain. So make sure I know you want to come so that I can tell you when to come if it is raining. That's all I got, Thomas. We'll hand it back to you, and doing a great job. W8VPV, back to them.
Thanks for stopping by, Frank. Good to hear you. And Keith, you're up. K-E-T-Q-R.
Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is Kilo Echo 8 Tango Quebec Romeo. Just one stop in here on the 40-meter net. Add 1 to your number. I got a lot of noise over here, so I'm going to be off of here real quick. Great evening for everybody. Hope you'll have a great week, and thanks for running the net tonight, Thomas. This is KE8 TQR saying 73, and God bless.
Thanks for stopping by, Keith. You're sounding good. But yeah, there is a lot of noise, and your signal, even though you're not very far away, was starting to do that wave thing where it came in and out. So, all right, we're down to KE8 VQX. You're up.
W8VPV, this is KE8 VQX. Thanks for getting me in again there, Thomas. Surprised I'm getting through. Antenna's been hanging out there in the weather for quite some time. Glad to hear it's working. So, again, thanks for getting me in, Thomas. This is KE8 VQX.
Well, I very much appreciate you stopping by and not letting me scream into the voice here. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. We're looking for any additional check-ins. Please call now. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Do we have anybody else that would like to check in? Please call now.
Alpha, Germany 4, Echo Delta.
I got Alpha, Germany 4. Was that Delta Echo?
Alpha, Germany 4, Echo Delta, AG4, Echo Delta, over.
Echo Delta, got you. AG4ED.
I have a personal here is Ed, and I'm in Southwest Virginia.
Well, thanks for stopping by. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. We're in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, between Akron and Cleveland.
Okay, roger that. Yeah, I'm right on the border of Tennessee, Virginia, and Kentucky. I'm right on the, you can go 5 miles either way and be at each one of those states, over.
Gotcha. Yep, I know exactly where you're at. Nice little corner of heaven down there.
I don't know. This all the rain and the winds that we've had here lately, it's about took a toll on the trees, and all the rivers have been up and flooding.
Yep, I totally understand. It's been a soggy spring so far. Good to hear you out there. Thanks for checking in. This is Whiskey Victor Papa Victor. Do we have any other check-ins? Please call now. I'm not hearing anymore. John or Frank, are you hearing anybody else?
This is W8VPV. I don't hear anybody else.
All right, we'll go into announcements real quick and then give last call. Again, field day is 2 weekends from now. I think everybody here is very well aware of that, and what we got to do to make field day happen. We will announce we've got the logging on the 25th and hands-on operation there at the field at the clubhouse. And then just a reminder to everybody else on the net, the 5th Monday of this month is 12 meters, 24,972. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. We're looking for last call for check-ins. Please call now. Hearing none, we'll prepare to close the net. I'd like to thank everybody that took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, this has been KEWX, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, we'll close the net with 6 check-ins and return to the frequency to normal and customary amateur use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor closing the net at 9:43 p.m. local time, 73.
W8VPV. Repeater.
To the outer edge of the upper tube. All slid right past that capacitor and came out the top, and I hooked it up with the screw.
Okay, what might have happened was when we pulled that outer tube out, that outer tube has got a wire that's screwed to the end, it's the ground wire. And probably what we ended up doing was disconnecting. There's two connectors on that capacitor. They may have just come loose, and that's where you're running into your problem. But just take once you get the tube, the upper tube put back into the outer tube at the bottom where we separated it, go up to the top and take the tape off or a cap, whatever's on there, and unscrew that ground wire that's screwed into the outside of the upper tube and pull it out, and the capacitor, the whole wire bundle should slide out. There's enough slack in there. It should slide out, and the capacitor is attached right there at the very end.
Awesome. Well, I have to give that a try. I sure appreciate the knowledge on that.
It's not a problem. We went through this with two different antennas, taking it down from Silent Key's house, and one other one that, well, we got two from the Silent Key's house that I got from them, and we had to separate them both just to bring them home the same way you left Judy's house with them that day. And then like Jeannie said, I wasn't careful one day and I ran over the cable on the one, so I had to buy a whole new wiring bundle, and I've got to restring that wire bundle through the whole antenna itself all the way up to the very top where the capacitor is at, and the ground wire secures itself to the outside of the upper tube.
That's great. Well, I'll give that a try. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that antenna is better on the ground or on top of a 50-foot tower?
For the book, it can be mounted either way.
Do you think that it would give better reception and contacts on a tower?
Well, Keith, the old philosophy says the higher the antenna, the better reception and transmission. That's the old theory.
Yeah, I've heard that, but I also have read the closer to the ground the antenna is, the better it is. So I don't know. Anyway, I just thought I'd ask you. Pete, I'm going to let you go and get some rest, but thank you very much for the information, and we'll talk to you soon. Hope to see you guys on Saturday.
I will be there Saturday, and I'll talk to you more about it. But whenever you're ready to do the work on the antenna, give us a holler, and I'll be more than happy to come over and give you a hand to get that thing back up and going.
All right, well, I appreciate that. For now, I'll say 73 to you. You guys have a good night. It was good talking to you. KD8GXL.
KD8GXL, K8NQK. 73s, bud. You take care.
KD8SLG, listening on the 39. KD8SLG, KE8BHQ mobile. KE8BHQ, KD8SLG, how you doing, Ben? You on your way home? That's correct. Driving through Navarre right about now. Starting to get a little choppy. You gonna be at the meeting Thursday night, buddy? I'm planning on so get to see my happy face there on Thursday. Well, I'm going to be there. I'll be there for sure. All right, I'd imagine we're going to do a whole bunch of stuff for field day at this meeting. Oh, I kind of lost you on that one, man. Something about field day, but there wasn't a whole lot there. Yeah, I'm starting to get pretty far. I was saying I'd imagine this meeting's going to be for field day, correct? Oh, you got it, man. You got it. Yeah, I'll be doing a short bit on field day, telling everybody what's going to be going on and giving some recognition to those guys who are going to be running radios like you. All right, I've been putting a lot of practice behind that new radio I'm bringing, so hopefully it'll be running good. Oh, you're back in there, man. So, how you liking the 710? I'm up so far. I'm TV. They were 710.
W.
Way more radios I know how to use, so it's a whole bunch of learning I still got to do with it. Well, I'm thinking chances are you'll get a lot of practice on field day. Are we going to be doing any practice runs with the antenna coming up this weekend or anything? That's yet to be seen. Ron, Mark, and I went out to Jason's on Saturday, and we replaced all the wire with FlexWeave. So we've got that done. Jason's working on some sort of support system for the smaller antenna. And that's all I know about right now. So we'll talk about that at the meeting, too. All right, that works for me. I'm kind of hoping to split the guys who are doing the radio up from the guys who are putting up the antenna, so you guys aren't all tired and sweaty before we even get started. That's sort of a thought I'm having. Minute. Ben, I think I finally lost you, man. That one was just knew you were there, and that's it. KE8BHQ, KD8SLG. Pretty far out there anyway, Nick, so I'm going to wish you a 73. This is KE8BHQ, clear with KD8SLG.
W3DJS.
W3DGS, DJS, KD8SLG. How you doing?
Hey, the name here is Dave. I'm connected via the Echolink application on my Android phone from the Atlanta, Georgia area, and saw the live stream on YouTube, and that's how I was able to eventually get connected to the Echolink node.
Well, cool, fine business. We stream a couple of the nets. A guy named W8VPV, that's whose YouTube channel was. He streams a couple of our nets. And, you get here by way of the beacon net or by way of the barometer net?
It says Cuyahoga Falls on the net, information on YouTube.
We're not out of Cuyahoga Falls. Our repeater's in Doylestown, Ohio.
Okay, then I must be confused.
Well, it looks like he was streaming the Cuyahoga Falls Club tonight. That's W8VPV. And we're W8WKY. But he streams some of our nets as well.
Copy that, copy that.
Well, we've got some rocket nets here. Every morning at the Yangale hour, 7 a.m., there's a barometer net. Wednesday and Sunday nights, we got the beacon net. And tomorrow night, we'll have our W8WKY Silver Creek Amateur Radio Association Club net about 8 o'clock. And I don't know if that'll be streaming or not, but we'll be here either way.
Yeah, I think I've seen the Silver Creek stream online before.
That's where you're talking right now. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure that the Cuyahoga Club has an all-star node, but I guess if you were listening on Echolink, and kind of sounds like you must have us linked up there, because that's the only way I can imagine they're hearing us right now, or I'm hearing you on that YouTube channel.
Oh, are you hearing me on YouTube right now?
Yeah, actually, I just clicked on it, and I heard my voice coming back, and I'm nowhere near there. Looks to me like it's mislabeled, because if you look at the FlexRadio output, the spectrum analyzer that's up there on the screen, it's centered on 14739, and that is W8WKY.
Okay, understood. Yeah, I can't see that closely because I'm using a smartphone screen, so it's kind of tiny. But I definitely understand what you're saying there. So yeah, I've been following been following these streams for a little while now. Been trying to connect with somebody just to say hi, and you're being heard out here as far as the Atlanta area. And actually, another person jumped in on the chat tonight, all the way from England. So definitely getting out there on YouTube.
Well, yeah, I think there looks like 6 or 7 people tuned into that one. We usually have a few people that tune into the next regularly. I always put the link up in the chat window of NetLogger with the link, and tell people that if you want to hear how you sound on the radio, go to the link there and go back a minute or two and hear how you sound. If you want to hear how it's sounding coming in through Echolink, I think that's a great tool for that. Our nets, we tend to have a lot of all-star connections linking up because we're a fairly active repeater and a fairly active hub, and everything works properly. As you know now that you've hooked up with Echolink, we usually have 20, 25 connections on All-Star during most of our nets, and usually 5 to 6 people hooking up on Echolink.
You got a pretty active turnout then. We have the club here in Gwinnett County, which is right by Atlanta. We had Echolink until COVID hit, and then it's not been operative since. But even when Echolink was on, we would probably only have a maximum of 3, maybe 4 people online there on Echolink.
W8WKY.
My understanding, it's not the easiest thing to manage and maintain to keep a repeater hooked up to Echolink. That's what the tech guy tells me anyway, and I believe him, and I'm glad I don't have to do it.
Well, Echolink seems to be a little bit more popular than All-Star, and I can only imagine how much more difficult All-Star is to keep running than Echolink.
All-Star is much easier, and as I said, we have a lot more All-Star traffic than Echolink. Echolink's a great tool to have on your phone, but I wouldn't want to use it as a radio all the time.
QSL. Hey, I'm going to go back to monitoring YouTube, and so I'll just say thank you for the quick QSO here, and I'm going to say 73, and I'll be monitoring.
Come back and join us anytime. You'll usually find someone will answer you here. You have a great night. W3DJS, this is KD8SLG. I'm clear.
W8WKY. W8WKY repeater PL1 14.8.